Hey there, how's it going? Okay, so I'm Shelly McLean, and I'm going to share my story today as I'm in a nice little park and near a lake out here in Highlands Ranch, Colorado. So my story begins in Whittier, California. There was a woman who got pregnant at an early age, and when she told her parents, they basically told her, you need to go to some pregnancy teen center and just go deal with that problem on your own. It's not our problem, and we don't want you anymore, and basically go, and after you have that baby, go and live on your own. And so that's exactly what happened to her. She went to a teen pregnancy center. She had me back in May of 1969. And it was a very sad, dark day for her as she was left alone in a room. And after I was born, I was taken away by a nurse, and she was left there with no friends or parents or anybody to support her or encourage her. So from there, my parents adopted me when I was a 3-week-old baby, and I grew up living in Pasadena. So my parents from kindergarten to 8th grade had me in a Christian school, and I just grew up being told, you were adopted. But it was fine with me because I didn't know anything else. So I remember friends would come up to me and be like, wow, you're adopted? Are you serious? That's amazing. And for me, I thought, yeah, it's all I know. So can we get back to playing? And that was pretty much my life as being an adopted child in my elementary school years. Turning now to high school, I have an older sister who was also a baby given up for adoption. And she also was, I think, about 3 weeks old. But one day her birth mom found her, and I was happy for her birth mom to find her, but my sister was very shy, very introverted personality type, and she wasn't so excited about this idea. She wasn't ready to face all that, and so she didn't take the news very good. However, I, on the other hand, was kind of envious. I thought, oh, I would love it if my birth mom found me, but there was no sign of her looking for me, or I just didn't know anything about her at all. So I went on with life, and now fast forwarding to about the year 2017, I was living in Wisconsin, and I was home one day, and the phone rang. And there was a woman who I didn't know on the other end of the phone who said, hey, I work in the area of Adoption Connection, and there is a woman who's very interested in talking to you and wondering if you were born May 5th, 1969. So when I heard that, I knew, I said, oh my goodness, this is my hour. This is my season to finally meet my birth mother. And so I was very welcoming to that phone call. And sure enough, I found out my birth mom's name was Debbie Hershey. And I was so thrilled. It just, I can't even describe how excited I was to finally get a name and a face, and that God was gracious enough to let me, find out this whole mystery that was going on in my life for 48 years. So, so we had a phone call, and I found out right away she was a Christian, and so I was really, really, really excited about that. Furthermore, we both discovered that we had not only both lived in Southern California, but we had lived in Durango, Colorado, this tiny little cowboy Indian town. And for all we knew, we could have walked past each other on a sidewalk or driven past each other and not even known it. But I'm sure God was up in heaven, probably looking down and smiling a little extra big there. So when I found out about Debbie, she told me, she goes, yeah, you have a younger brother and a younger sister. Your brother is a pilot. Your sister is a teacher in Seattle. And that was just so exciting because she had no idea that all my upbringing, I had longed to have a cute, protective older brother, but of course he is younger than me. But I'm very proud of him, and I've finally gotten to meet him, at least through Messenger, not in person yet, but we've met through Facebook and Messenger. So I'm just in awe of how God works. God's plan to spare my life when, let's be honest, I could have been an aborted child. So God was gracious to give me life, and furthermore, he was faithful and kind to allow Debbie and I to meet and get caught up on each other's lives, and I was able to share with her all the blessings that God had bestowed on my life, places I'd been, things I've done. And another thing that was pretty amazing was that we found out we both have horses in common. She is like a barrel horse racing woman and knows so much about equestrian life. And when I was a kid, I just loved going on trail rides and just wished I would own a horse someday. But as I got older, I did work on a couple of horse ranches in Colorado and in Texas. So that was amazing to find out we had a passion for horses. But as we talked more, we found out that we both are women of faith and crazy faith, not just faith, crazy faith. And we were both like church greeters in our past. Out of all the ways we could have served in our church, we found we both love greeting because we are definitely both people persons and love all people and all types. So that was, again, just amazing to learn about. So God's good, you know. He loves families. He loves redemption and connecting people, and he gets all the praise and glory for what he did. And I'm just rejoicing in the miracles of God that there's the technology nowadays in order for birth moms to meet their birth children. So for me, it was a happy ending, and God is just good and gets the glory. All right, so that's at least part of my life. So take care, and God bless.